After having encountered narcissists all my life in different forms within family, friends, relationships, and even professional environments, I have come to a conclusion I can no longer keep silent about. Narcissists are not simply flawed individuals, they are truly evil by nature. These are the monsters, the hypocrites, the reptilian people that every religion, every tradition, every spiritual path has tried to warn us about. They wear human skin, they do mimic empathy and speak the language of love. But underneath all of that is something cold, something utterly heartless. I'm not saying this because I have had a few bad experiences, no, or because I'm really angry. I'm saying this because when you truly observe a narcissist's behavior, especially behind closed doors, what you see is so deeply inhuman that it compels you to believe. This can't be just a personality disorder. There is something darker, more twisted. These are vessels of demonic ruthlessness, void of conscience and devoid of soul. Let me walk you through 5 chilling behaviors I have witnessed, lived through, and heard about in thousands of survivor stories I have received over the years. Hi, I am Danish, a narcissistic abuse recovery professional. Welcome to my channel. Today, I want to show you just how monstrous narcissists can truly be. Behavior number one: if you accidentally wake them up from sleep, they go crazy. All hell breaks loose if you dare to wake a narcissist from their sleep. It's like you have disturbed a demon that was resting in the depths of hell. They will scream, they will curse, they will lash out, not because they are startled, but because you interrupted their royal peace. And I'm not exaggerating. They do not stop to ask if you're okay. They don't care if you were simply trying to cover them with a blanket. You have committed the ultimate sin, disturbing the king or queen, and now you must pay. I remember my malignant narcissist father. He had this habit of falling asleep in random places while working. And if, out of love, you tried waking him up to suggest he sleep in bed, he would explode. He would lose it. He wouldn't hesitate to slap you or scream so loud that the neighbors could hear. His rage wasn't about sleep. It was always about control, about entitlement. And I know I am not alone in this. I've heard this from countless survivors. Some got slapped, others were pushed or yelled at like animals. Not one of them got a thank you or even a calm question like, "What happened? Are you okay? Are you fine?" Now, I'm not talking about trauma survivors like myself who wake up startled. If someone wakes me up too suddenly, I may gasp, hyperventilate, maybe even shake a little bit, but I never cursed at someone or attacked them. Why? Because trauma may startle the body, but it does not justify monstrosity. Narcissists, on the other hand, do not just react, they punish, they attack, and deep down, they enjoy the fear it creates. That's what makes this so chilling. Number two, they punish children in the most brutal ways. There is no mercy when a narcissist decides a child has wronged them. And remember, anything can be a wrong in their book: a missed grade, a closed door, a hungry cry, anything that feels like a threat to their control or an injury to their ego becomes a crime punishable by torture. I still remember during Ramadan, I was fasting as a child, eager and excited. I locked the door and fell asleep from exhaustion. I woke up to a sharp, searing pain in my legs. Before I could understand what was happening, I saw a stick in my father's hand and his face twisted in rage. He was fasting too, but that did not stop him from unleashing hell. I cried, I begged, I apologized profusely, but there was no stopping him. That was not discipline, that was demonic possession. And this story, as I told you earlier, isn't unique to me. Years ago, I lived as a student on rent. My landlord's wife, an ice cold sociopathic narcissist, stripped her 10-year-old boy naked and forced him to stand outside their home because he did not score well in school. Let that sink in. A child without clothes on the street because of marks on a paper. I could not hold myself back. I went down and made sure she knew I saw her. She stopped, but can you guess what happened next? She and her husband fought, not because she abused her child, but because she felt exposed. This is what happens when narcissists do not have to wear a mask behind closed doors with their children, especially. Their true monstrousness blossoms, and the child becomes the sacrificial lamb to their rage, insecurity, and twisted sense of justice. Number three, when opportunity arises, they steal money from those who need it most. Corruption is the narcissist's main money making mechanism. That is how they get ahead. That is how they climb into the top 1%. It's not because they are more capable, it's because they are not held back by the things that make the rest of us human: love, loyalty, conscience. None of that slows them down. They choose themselves every single time. No guilt, no second thoughts. And that is the brutal power of selfishness. Nothing holds them back, not marriage, not children, and not even blood relation. If it comes down to their gain versus your survival, your life, they will take what they need and walk away. They will abandon a crying child, leave a marriage mid sentence, ghost their own family like they never existed, and they will sleep peacefully at night. Of course, they're not strong. They do it because they feel absolutely nothing. They don't care. That is what makes them appear powerful to the outside world. But it's not real power, it is emptiness, lifelessness. While we are stuck overthinking, caring, explaining, they're already 3 steps ahead: unapologetic, unbothered, unattached. They sacrifice people like pawns in a game of chess. If you don't serve their agenda, you're gone. If you slow them down, you're cut off. They do not linger in heartbreak. They do not mourn what they leave behind. They don't sit alone at night wondering if they could have been better. Their conscience never taps them on the shoulder. There is no internal conflict, no empathy, no emotional weight whatsoever. There is only one voice in the world, and it is their own. Number four, they abandon you when you need them the most. If you ever want to test who someone truly is, fall into a crisis. And I promise you, if there are narcissists, they will vanish faster than you can blink. Emergencies do not activate their love, they activate their exit strategy. Narcissists cannot stand being burdened. The moment the spotlight shifts from their needs to yours, you become disposable. Whether it is financial struggle, health scares, emotional breakdowns, or trauma, you will find yourself completely alone. And not only alone, but also blamed. I know a survivor who had to take herself to every chemotherapy session while her husband, her supposed so called partner, was too busy flirting with women half his age. When she asked for help, he called her dramatic. My own experience mirrored this when I needed urgent help, when I was in college and was falsely diagnosed with 2 kidney stones. I had to make urgent arrangements to travel. It was really painful. I was alone and I was deeply scared. Naturally, I reached out to my family, to my father. His response will shock you. He exploded into a fit over the cost of the flight ticket. Not once did he ask if I was okay. Not once did he check if I had someone with me. It was all about money. To him, I should have managed on my own, like I was asking for a luxury rather than urgent medical help. That wasn't a father's reaction. That was a cold, calculating businessman trying to minimize his loss. To narcissists, your suffering is inconvenient. Your pain is an attack on their peace. And if they help you by any chance, they expect eternal praise. That is emotional abandonment wrapped in ego. And it leaves a mark deeper than the original crisis ever could, because the very person you thought would hold your hand when life broke you was already gone. Number five, when it comes to sacrifice, you always become the lamb. If someone has to suffer, it will be you. That is how narcissists function. They don't bend, they do not compromise, they do not share the burden, do they? Their comfort must always come at your cost. My mother, who is a covert narcissist, was used like a servant by my father all her life. One particular memory still haunts me to this day. She had just gone through a colonoscopy, weak, barely able to walk. Then, the very next morning, my father called my aunt and asked her to wake my mother up. Why? To make him breakfast. Can you believe that? This man wasn't dying, he wasn't helpless, he was just hungry. And he couldn't bear the thought of making his own toast and tea. That is the point I want to make here. This isn't just narcissism, please understand. This is calculated cruelty, a complete absence of empathy, a heart so hollow that it sees a person, a woman in this case, recovering from a medical procedure as nothing more than an inconvenience to his routine. Now, tell me, what kind of creature does that? And that is why I never trust these self aware narcissists who talk about healing or change. I don't buy that. You know why? Because their nature, it's instinctual. Just like a house cat that sees a bird, it can't help but turn predator, no matter how well fed it is. It's nature. A narcissist may mimic kindness, empathy, or growth, but the minute their ego is bruised, the mask drops, and the monster shows itself, fangs, claws, all of it. There's always something in it for them. To conclude, these five behaviors tell you everything you need to know about the demonic nature, the evil nature of narcissists. Because no matter what image a narcissist shows the world, it's how they act in these moments that reveals who they truly are. It's not a personality flaw when someone screams at you for waking them up. It is not discipline when a child is humiliated. It is not stress when they steal from the people who trust them. It is not forgetfulness when they disappear during your worst moments. And it definitely is not love when they expect you to suffer for their comfort. This is not normal. It is not human, I'm telling you, and it's not something you can fix because all of this is truly evil. Let me know what you think in the comments below, and do not forget to register yourself for my upcoming event. The topic is how to break the trauma bond with that narcissist in 5 practical steps. The link is in the description of this episode. With that, let's bring it to an end. Thank you so much for listening and watching. I will talk to you in the next one. Until then, as always, let the healing begin and continue.